get more students out here and involved. We know what that agenda is. We know that we have to wake up not only the college campuses, but every segment of the society. Before I go on, I want to introduce to you, if he's still there over there in the suit, is Reverend Joseph Washington, who is the mayor's senior advisor on equal rights in the state. And he just wanted to come out here, to be out here with you today before he has to go in and continue with his work. So we really congratulate Reverend Joseph Washington for being out here with us today. It's extremely important what you are doing. Trying to build a front of students in this country.
Sorry.
To speak a moral word, a moral voice to every segment of this society. Many of us for a long time have been wondering where the students have been. When I was on college campuses, we were ready to rock and roll anytime injustice came down. But the universities and the colleges have been silent these last few years. And what we come face to face with in 1988 is because of our apathy over the last 20 or 25 years in institutions of higher learning. It's time we come out and let people know that we are here, that we are aware, that we are alert, that we are concerned, that we are going to engage on a tremendous part. The society in which we exist seems hopeless at times. And particularly over the course of the last 7.5 years, things have seemed to have gotten more hopeless. Reagan has attacked organized labor, affirmative action, and civil rights laws. His administration has favored racially segregated schools and have pushed for military intervention and U.S. dominance from Central America and Latin America to Angola and all over Southern Africa. And have also moved to dispossess and keep people here at home down. The programs and the attacks that the Reagan administration has created has given rise to a more racially and class-hostile society, where people think that racism somehow is now an accepted part of our reality, where people think that classism or homophobia should be an accepted part of our society. But you are here to say that students are thinking in a different way, in a different direction. You don't need to be an economist to look around and to come to the conclusion that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer with less political representation. During this time, our college campuses have taken on an air of conservatism. Many students state that their life's goal is to make more than $100,000 shortly after college per year, to be rich before they turn 30. What they are really saying is that they want to link arms in solidarity and not only protect but involve themselves in U.S. aggression abroad and U.S. oppression at home and racial superiority. They are saying that we believe in what the status quo is saying in this country. There is very little critical questioning going on about what the society is really about. Question: why do minority populations, who only represent a small segment of society, are proportionally overrepresented in prisons and jails? Why does a school system such as Boston, even with all of the institutions of higher learning surrounding it, turn out so many high school graduates who can't read and can't write? Has the society gotten better? Some say the unemployment rate is lower than it has been in recent history. But still, those who formulate statistics don't take into account that prison and jail populations have quadrupled in the last 10 years. And far more people live on the streets than at any other time in our history. We have closed our eyes to what the truth This is a society where people of color lack the opportunities afforded others. Boston, like other places in our society, offers less opportunity to people of color in employment. And once you get employed, it is harder, if not impossible, to get a promotion. Without decent schools and without decent jobs or the availability of jobs for people of color, what alternatives are there for paying rent and feeding your family? For some, the desperation becomes so great that they involve themselves in crime, and when arrested, they are usually faced with poor legal representation, a lawyer who's assigned who reads your case 15 minutes before you're ready to go on the trial, and then when you're convicted, you end up with a longer and more severe sentence than the rest of the people in society. And then there is the ever-plaguing problem in our communities of drug addiction. Somehow, mysteriously, drugs have found their way into every segment of communities of color. A life that is filled with the frustration that people of color lives are filled with leads to a want and a need to escape, to medicate oneself. We are faced with poverty. We are faced with low self-esteem issues, an overwhelming sense of hopelessness, racism at every turn, neglected lives, no hope on the horizon. So you medicate yourself or you end up dying from the sheer depression. But drugs are not in our community by coincidence, but by design. It has been the design, for example, of Oliver North to fund the enslavement in Central America. And before that, it was the design of the CIA to fund a war in Vietnam. Drugs have meant for us, people of color, our inability to become free. For you can't get the freedom staggering or nodding in Never Never Land. You never will, and it never will happen. We must be clean and straight with a determined mind to get where we hope to go. On college campuses.
That's a boo.
There is less financial aid available for poor